I'll never forget the night in Napa Valley when a famous winemaker, Don Chapelet, took me downstairs, said, I want to show you my real pride and joy. We didn't go to the wine cellar, we went to his vinegar barrel, and I tasted this very complex red wine vinegar that he made, and I thought to myself, this is the next thing. We are now going to grow up in terms of vinegar and have great vinegar for our salads and so on and so forth. That got derailed, completely derailed. Why? Because the next new thing was balsamic vinegar, whether it was real or not real, but suddenly everybody's taken with balsamic vinegar and they're pouring it on their salads. And my premise is that balsamic vinegar has its uses, but not on salad. I don't want sweet stuff on my salad. Balsamic is sweet as well as sour. Defend.
I didn't know that I was going to literally look up to you in life. Balsamic vinegar is not one thing any more than wine vinegar is. Clearly, here is a fancy bottle of Italian wine vinegar. It's 25 years old, which is in the shooting range for balsamic vinegar. Okay. But it is not made in Modena, and it is made from wine, not made from must, which is
the traditional.
The distinction. Well, the distinction. As you can see, I use different.
Yes. And I applaud that. If I
Balsamic.
have grilled foie gras or seared foie gras, I like balsamic. I like it on strawberries,
Yeah,
as I do in
well,
Modena, but not on salad. None
No,
of them.
I disagree.
Tell me why.
And, well, if you have a soft green, I mean, salad is, after all, a whole world in and of itself. And if you have a soft green, like a Boston lettuce, which is a respectable, nice lettuce to have at the end of a meal, which is when I like my salad, you don't necessarily want that complex Don Chapelet overwhelming flavor, nor do you want the insistence of tarragon or the hyperacidity of something else. Jerez sherry vinegar is a little heavy. There are...
But not as sweet as balsamic, usually.
But, no. But balsamic, really good, which I do not have here. You understand? Because I will not pay $275 for a 3-ounce bottle. I tried to get the company to do it, but they wouldn't do it either. What can I tell you? But in any case, then they might have left it. That kind of vinegar should be sparingly put as a finishing touch on something.
What kind?
Real balsamic vinegar.
All right.
These, no matter what they say, are not real balsamic
We know that.
vinegar.
Most of what's out there is industrial. It's not real. Yes. My problem is that gastronomic Americans and many Americans have been convinced that what they're supposed to have on their salad is olive oil and balsamic vinegar. And the other day, let me tell you this, I was getting a haircut, believe it or not. I was talking to my barber, and I told him about this discussion we're going to have, and he said, aren't I supposed to use balsamic vinegar on my salad? I said, wait a minute, I don't know what you mean by supposed, but he said, no, if I want to be like I'm an aspiring foodie,
Right.
don't I use balsamic? So do you like it? He said, to tell you the truth, I use it all the time, and somewhere inside a little voice is going, this isn't so good, but I'm supposed to do it, so I'll do it.
Look.
Americans need to know that it's not a classic thing, don't you think?
Well, it is classic in Italy, but
Not
however,
on salad.
the question is, it's not one thing.
Right.
Salad is a world.
Right.
A huge world. It's different in Asia, it's different here, it's different there. We should relish the differences.
Yes.
We should enjoy it, and we should enjoy using the different ingredients.
Listen, let's construct a salad. Let's take some confit of duck, shredded.
Oh
and
boy,
let's
there's
put-
a trendy ingredient.
It is, but I'm saying I'm trying to lead towards the balsamic on this, and let's mix it with some maybe roasted red pepper and some big white beans or something like that. Call that a salad because it's room temperature. Toss it all together. I'd put some balsamic on that, but not on a simple green
Gee,
salad.
I wouldn't serve it.
Well, okay, fine, but I'm talking about a simple green salad. That's my, yes, salad, anything could be called salad. I'll come here sometime so happily, make me a salad with lettuce
Right.
that has balsamic vinegar. Just don't put any mandarin orange segments or marshmallows in it, and I'll be very happy.
Darling, I wouldn't put them in anyhow. I remember a half of a canned pear with cream cheese in the middle
Yes.
on a leaf as a salad, or a pineapple ring with something in the middle as a salad. So, I've been through every stage of revolting.
Yes.
And even by those standards,
Yeah. Okay.
But I'll make you a salad, and I'll wager
Then I'll like it.
you'll like it.
Yeah, well, if you make it, I'm sure I'll like it. Thank you,
Okay.
Barbara.
Welcome to Coffee Break, tips for brewing better coffee. There are a lot of choices when it comes to serving your coffee. A big point of argument is the sugar versus sweetener war. The artificial sweeteners are chemical compounds designed to simulate sugar. Sweet and Low is a petroleum-based product called saccharin. Equal is an aspartame product commonly found in diet soft drinks. And Splenda is a chlorine-based product called sucralose. Of sugar, a natural product, still remains the most enjoyable and delicious way to sweeten your coffee. I'm Ron Moreno on Devour TV. Hope you enjoyed your coffee break.
I was working in one of the fine dining restaurants here in the city. It was the middle of the summer, and we were getting in a lot of ingredients from the farmers markets from upstate. There was a girl who was working on Grand Manger, and she had been a little bit out of it for a few days because of her upcoming wedding. Anyway, we finally got the place together. Everything was ready to go. We started lunch service, and we ended up getting really slammed. I guess it was probably midway through lunch service when all of a sudden I heard kind of like a scream in the dining room. So I went out to the dining room, and I went to table 31. Everybody was pushed back from the table, kind of like looking at the center of the table, and as I approached, I saw something jumping from one side of the table to the next. And then one of the gentlemen sitting at the table ended up turning a glass over, and he caught it. It was basically a grasshopper, lotus type of insect that had come from upstate, dressed by the Grand Manger girl in salt, pepper, olive oil. Very tasty looking. One of the gentlemen said that he wanted to take it home for his kid who was doing a project at school.
Hey, I'm David Rosengarten. I did the very first show on the Food Network, and then 2,500 after that. But that was then, and this is now. Come join me on my culinary adventures from my home in New York to other exotic and not so exotic locales for Dave in the Life. See ya. Right. You know what? I'm here to go to this Irish food tasting. It's a tasting of artisanal Irish products. Ireland is not a place that has captured the gastronomic imagination of the world. It's sort of, it's part of Great Britain, and it's sort of grouped in with that whole thing, bad food in England, bad food in Ireland, potatoes and stews and blah, 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 blah. Hello, I'm looking for Ireland House.
Here you are, David.
This is Ireland House.
This is Ireland House, or us here, and welcome.
David
As they say in
Rosengarten.
Ireland, Cave Munafolcha.
What does that mean?
It means 100,000 welcomes.
What should I do first, do you think?
I recommend starting with the mead.
Mead?
Mead is a reasonably unique Irish alcoholic drink, and it's made by a secret recipe. Even the people who bring it into the United States, sell it, they don't know the actual recipe.
Really?
They've never been told.
That's where the word honeymoon came from?
Right.
Honey mead became honeymoon?
Yeah, because they gave it to the bride and groom to last for one full moon after their wedding. So honey wine for one full moon.
Honeymoon. Wow. I really like it. It doesn't seem as strong as the purported alcohol. It's not hot, it's not heavy, it's not super sweet. It's really rather light and delicate. Well, I heard that one of the great things on the floor here is some air-dried meat. 3 different kinds of meat. Let's go check it out. I think this is the air-dried meat guy right over here. Are you the air-dried meat guy?
That's right.
Hello, what's your name?
How are you? James McGill.
James, what's your last name?
McGill.
McGill.
Yes.
Like M-C-G-I-L-L?
No, G-E-O-U-G-H.
Whoa! M-C-G-E-O-U-G-H.
Yeah.
McGill. Say it one more time.
McGill.
Wow! Wow! What a pronunciation. I love that.
This is an air-dried beef.
Yes.
That's been hanging and drying for 14 months. This is an air-dried lamb. Irish lamb, and that's hanging for 2 years. And this is an air-dried ham that we have
Pork.
12, 14 months. Yeah.
I'm very anxious to try this because this is not that usual to have air-dried lamb, is it?
That's nice now with a fig and apricot chutney. So the fig with the lamb.
So this is all corn.
This is all corn, and it's matured exclusively in ex-bourbon casks. So it's as close to an Irish bourbon as you're ever going to get.
Wow.
So it's super smooth.
It's got a beautiful, fruity, kind of lively nose.
So you're tasting, you're smelling the influence from the bourbon cask and also the natural taste of the corn.
That's just delicious.
Super smooth, buttery vanilla sweetness to it, and a very short finish and very, very drinkable.
That's just delicious. What's the main characteristic that sets Irish apart from Scotch?
Well, besides from the Irish actually inventing how to make whiskey and them robbing our idea, it's really down to the difference in how the whiskey's matured, because the raw ingredients, the way it's made is exactly the same. Scotland, and in particular a place like the Highlands and the islands in Scotland, have quite a harsh environment, quite a cold winter, while Ireland is very, very mild. If anyone's been there, we call it a soft climate because it rains a lot, but it doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold. So the wood in the cask maturing the whiskey doesn't contract that so much, so it doesn't impart a very strong oaky taste.
You're a big boy, you could probably take this. You know that in the US, everybody drinks Scotch all the time.
Yes.
Irish whiskey is a bit of a specialty category.
Yes.
Why is it that the Scotch conquered our market and the Irish did not?
Irish whiskey was bigger in the US prior to Prohibition. There was a number of factors that actually affected the development of Irish whiskey. One was the War of Independence in Ireland that really killed our routes to market, in that all the British Empire markets were cut off from us. So no longer could Irish whiskey be sold in around the world. A double kick in the head was Prohibition came along, and all of a sudden, the only market for Irish whiskey was in the indigenous market in Ireland.
Well, it's been a miserable century.
It's been a very hard
Best
century.
of luck to you in the 21st. Great tasting. Who knew? Really delicious things from Ireland. And that just about wraps it up. Let's see. Oh, it's about 7 o'clock. Time for dinner. See ya.